There's a quiet experience many people share, even if they don't have words for it. From the outside, life looks fine. Things are moving. Responsibilities are being handled. You're doing what's expected, what makes sense, what seems right. Nothing is collapsing. Nothing dramatic is happening. And still there's a subtle feeling that something inside you isn't quite there anymore. Not sadness, not a crisis, just a faint sense of distance. As if you're participating in your life, but not fully inhabiting it. Many people live this way for a long time without questioning it, because everything appears to be working, and when things work, we rarely stop to ask how they feel from the inside. So if you've ever had the sense that your life looks normal, but doesn't quite feel like yours, that experience by itself isn't unusual. It doesn't mean something is broken. It doesn't mean you failed to choose correctly. It simply describes a moment where functioning and feelings start to drift apart. And noticing that drift doesn't require conclusions yet, just attention. Maybe what creates that distance isn't one big decision or one obvious mistake. Sometimes it forms slowly through choices that make sense on paper, paths that are considered reasonable, steps that are socially legible, approved, and encouraged. In many cases, people don't consciously choose a life that feels distant. They adapt into it. They follow rhythms that already exist, timelines that are already set, definitions of success, stability, and progress that come from outside. And that adaptation can feel safe, because it reduces friction. It helps you belong, keeps things moving. But over time, that same adaptation can create a strange internal tension. You're doing what's expected, yet something in you doesn't recognize itself in what you're doing anymore. Not because the path is wrong in general, but because it may not be yours in a living sense. And that tension often shows up quietly, as restlessness, numbness, or the sense of moving forward without feeling present inside the movement. From a psychological perspective, this moment isn't about motivation or clarity. It's about singularity. Singularity refers to the unique way your desire, energy, and way of relating to the world take form. It isn't an identity you choose. It's something that expresses itself when there's room for it. Social systems, however, tend to favor repetition, clear roles, predictable paths, lives that are readable and comparable. Over time, many people learn, often unconsciously, to organize their life around what fits those structures. Not because they are weak, but because belonging often comes at the cost of adjustment. When that happens, desire doesn't disappear. It gets redirected, compressed, or postponed. And the psyche registers that compression not as a clear conflict, but as a loss of vitality. You're still moving, still producing, still functioning, but the life force that once animated those movements feels thinner, quieter, less connected to you. This is why the question often isn't, "What should I do instead?" That question still assumes there's a correct script to follow. A more subtle question is, where did I start living according to a rhythm that isn't generated from me? Because when singularity is continuously postponed, life doesn't stop, just becomes procedural. Days are filled, goals are met, time passes, but inside, there's the growing sense of being carried by a structure rather than inhabiting a life. And that's not a failure of discipline or intelligence. It's a signal, not a demand to escape everything or start over, but an invitation to notice where your life stopped being created and started being managed. The discomfort you feel isn't asking for immediate answers. It's pointing to a question that hasn't been allowed yet. Not what makes sense to do next, but what part of me has been waiting to exist again inside my own life. And once that question appears, even quietly, the relationship you have with your life can no longer stay exactly the same.